Beginning, the silence before the encounter. The rain on Epsilon 9 didn't fall like Earth's rain. It hissed, a soft, electric drizzle that glowed faintly under the twin moons. Private Ethan Ward had grown used to the sound during his long nights at Outpost Delta, a human research station far beyond any comfortable world. The war with the Threxian Empire had officially ended months ago, but peace had never truly followed. Ethan was alone tonight. The others had gone deeper into the valley to map mineral veins, leaving him to guard the camp, a cluster of flickering lights and half-buried modules surrounded by alien mist. He sat by the portable heater, metal cup in hand, watching the steam rise. Another quiet night, he muttered. He'd volunteered to stay behind, not out of duty, but exhaustion. The long war had burned him hollow. He'd seen too many planets, too many soldiers, and too many ceasefires that never lasted. As he leaned back against the wall of the observation pod, he looked out through the glass dome. Beyond the mist, the jungle shimmered, a forest made of translucent vines and floating pollen that glowed like slow lightning. There was beauty here, yes, but also danger. Epsilon 9 was full of creatures that could kill with a glance or a whisper. Still, Ethan preferred the quiet. He powered down the communications array, dimmed the interior lights, and prepared to sleep. The cot felt colder than usual, the air too still. He sighed, pulling the blanket over his shoulders. One night, he murmured. Just one night of peace. Sleep came slowly. The hum of alien life outside lulled him under a deep, dreamless rest. But something changed. Middle, the queen in the shadows. Ethan woke to warmth, not the stale warmth of the heater, but something alive. He blinked, disoriented. His arm was pinned. His chest felt heavy. And then he heard it, a slow, rhythmic sound. Breathing. Not his. His eyes adjusted to the faint bioluminescent light filtering through the dome. And there, lying beside him, was someone. Long silver hair glimmered faintly against his shoulder, her skin a pale shade of gold that shimmered like liquid metal. She wasn't human. Ethan froze. Every nerve in his body screamed danger. The woman's hand rested lightly on his chest, her fingers long, graceful, tipped with delicate claws. Her armor, if that's what it was, seemed to have grown from her body itself. Plates of crystal and silk fused into her form. His pulse raced. What the hell? Before he could move, her eyes opened. They glowed softly, a deep, impossible violet. When she looked at him, it felt as though she saw through him, past his thoughts, past his soul. She didn't move for a moment. Then, softly, she spoke. "You're human." Her voice was melodic, layered like two tones in harmony. Ethan swallowed. "Yeah. And you're not supposed to be here." Her lips curved slightly. "Neither are you." He tried to pull away, but her hand pressed against his chest, not forcefully, but with the authority of someone who could stop his heart if she wished. "Who are you?" he demanded. She hesitated. Then, almost reverently, she whispered, "I am Kylara, Queen of the Threxian Dominion." Ethan's breath caught. The Threxian Queen, the one the entire human fleet feared, the ruler of the empire they just barely made peace with. "You shouldn't be here," he said again. "If your people find you." "They will not," she interrupted. "They believe I am in council orbiting Gathra. But I came here, to see." "To see what?" Her eyes softened. "To see the ones who call themselves human." Ethan sat up, his mind racing. Every diplomatic rule screamed at him to report this immediately, but who would believe it? And yet, she didn't seem hostile. Her expression was curious. Sad, even. "You risked your life to talk." She smiled faintly. "You think of risk and safety. I think of silence and purpose." He frowned. "That doesn't make sense." "It will," she said quietly. Then she looked away, gazing out the glass dome. The twin moons reflected in her eyes like tears. "Why are you in my bed?" Ethan finally asked. Kylara tilted her head, considering. "Your kind releases warmth when you sleep. I was cold. You could have used the heater. I preferred this." Her gaze flicked toward him. "You fear me. But I do not harm what I seek to understand." Something inside Ethan softened, against his better judgment. Maybe it was the exhaustion, maybe the surreal beauty of the moment, or maybe, deep down, he recognized the same loneliness reflected in her. "Understanding," he said quietly. "That's all." "For now," she said, and her lips curved into the faintest smile. "Tell me, soldier, what do humans dream of?" They talked for hours. About the war. About loss. About how both sides were convinced the other was the monster. Kylara listened more than she spoke, her expression thoughtful, almost regretful. "You don't seem like the conqueror they say you are," Ethan said finally. "And you don't seem like the invader your kind became," she replied softly. "Perhaps stories lie." Outside, lightning crawled across the alien sky. Inside, their words wove something fragile, a truce of understanding. At some point, she reached out, a gentle touch against his temple. "Your mind hums with memory," she whispered. "You have seen too much pain." He didn't flinch. "You too." She smiled sadly. "A crown is a cage. Even when made of stars." The storm rumbled closer. The walls shook faintly. Without thinking, Ethan shifted, drawing her nearer to shield her from the cold draft. She froze. Her pulse, if it could be called that, quickened beneath her skin. "You are strange, human." "So I've been told," he murmured. Her eyes lingered on him, searching, uncertain. And for the first time, the alien queen seemed almost vulnerable. Middle two, the secret beneath the crown. The night deepened. Sleep refused to return. Kylara had grown silent, her gaze lost to the storm. Ethan sat beside her, uneasy. "You came all this way to see humans," he said. "What did you expect to find?" "Enemies," she whispered. "And I found you." The words hung between them, heavy and fragile. Then her expression changed, a flicker of pain. She pressed a hand to her side, grimacing. Ethan noticed the faint blue glow seeping between her armor plates. "You're hurt." "It is nothing." "That's not nothing," he said sharply, kneeling beside her. "You're bleeding light." She laughed weakly. "It is not blood. It is energy, leaking from the bond core." He frowned. "Translation?" "My heart," she said simply. "It is failing." For a moment, Ethan forgot she was an alien queen. He saw only someone dying in front of him. "How do I help?" Her eyes flicked toward him, studying his face. "You cannot." "No human can." "Try me." She hesitated, then, slowly, she unfastened a segment of her armor. Beneath it was a crystal embedded in her chest, pulsing faintly, its light flickering. "It must be stabilized by another energy field," she explained. "But my vessel was destroyed entering orbit." "So you came here anyway." "I had to know," she whispered. "If peace could ever truly exist." Ethan looked at her, this alien queen, this being of light and command, risking everything just to understand. He took a deep breath. "Maybe we can improvise." He reached for his power cell, tore it from his suit, and pressed it near the crystal. "Will this?" Before he could finish, energy flared between them.